Good morning, everyone. It is Valentine's Day today in sunny fucking Auckland. So happy Valentine Day to all of those wonderful people out there. I'm off to court. Back on the 9th of August last year, on my son's 19th birthday, me and my son were out doing some grocery shopping. On the way home, we decided, seeing it was the birthday and all, that we'd stop and get some McD's and Kumu. In Kumu, there just happened to be a fire alarm go off straight after we placed our order in the drive-thru. So everybody cleared out of McDonald's and we're sitting there for a few minutes thinking we're not going to get our order, everybody's outside at the muster point. So we decided to head home because we had the Frozens in the car. Now as I was driving along, and this is a temporary 60 area because they're widening the roads out there sort of neck of the woods, there was this car in front of me that was speeding. I could tell it was speeding because it was gaining distance away from me, and it was clearly I was doing 60, so if it was doing more, well, it was speeding. So I turned on my old radar detector here I've got on the dashboard, exactly the same as the police use, Stalker's Dual DSR, and I locked them in. Now the car in front of me was doing 76, I was doing 61 in a 60k area. So we're driving along, and as we're coming along this little straight just before you hit the next little township, the guy in front of me slowed down. He didn't appear to brake, he just slowed down. There was a car on the shoulder. Now, as of course he slowed down, so it looks like I was approaching him faster. All right. So the car on the shoulder, on the closed shoulder, happened to be a police car, and the car in front of me slowed down, distance closed between us, and it carries on its way, I carry on its way, we go past the cop on the side of the road, the cop pulls out and turns his lights on, pulls me over. Luckily I've got all of this on dash cam. So the cop pulls me over, pleasant little Asian woman, and straight away asked me, is there any reason I didn't slow down for the 60k area? And I go, well, as far as I'm aware, I was only doing, 1 or 2k max over. And she goes, no, you were doing 77. And I went, well, it's not what my radar says. And so she does the whole driver's license thing, It's only the 5 questions you're supposed to answer: name, address, date of birth, occupation, phone number. Those are the 5 things you have to answer if you're driving a vehicle. Not if you're a passenger, but if you're driving. So I answered the questions, did the quick count to 10 for the breathalyzer. As I don't drink alcohol, that's not really an issue for me. And then she just goes, I asked her for a QID number, which I think threw her off a little bit. She tells me a QID, Zulu Juliet Whiskey 96. And she says the ticket will be in the post. And she says my QID and full name will be on the infringement ticket. I went, oh, okay. Have a nice night, and off she went. So when I got home, I took a snapshot of the radar that I'd locked into speed, and 10 days later I get the ticket in the post. What's not on it? Her full name. Because, I don't know about you, but anyone who gets a speeding ticket, you don't usually get given the full name of the officer that pulls you over. It's usually just a QID number. So, I did the whole request to hearing thing, and in response I got an acknowledgement for the request, but it says, if you're pleading not guilty, you must attend. Now, I'm well aware that under the under the Criminal Proceedings Act Criminal Proceedings Act 2011, Section 38(1), for a Category 1 offence like a speeding ticket or a parking ticket, you don't have to drive all the way to the jurisdiction or to the court that's closest to where you got the ticket just to walk in and say not guilty and walk out again. You can actually file what's called a notice of appearance to enter a plea. But regardless of that, under the Summary Proceedings Act 1957, Section 21(6), because I'd in writing requested a hearing, my name, signed it, under the Criminal Disclosure Act 2008, Section 13(7), in the avoidance of doubt, a request for a hearing shall be deemed a not guilty plea. So the simple fact that I requested a hearing is considered a not guilty plea. But the New Zealand Police Infringement Bureau and all its woke DEI crap, and I say that because they're putting this fucking multicoloured fucking flag at the bottom of the New Zealand Police Infringement Bureau fucking communications, which I don't think's allowed or appreciated, quite frankly. If they're going to put any fucking flag, they put the New Zealand flag. But no, this woke fucking acting team leader, the adjudication centre of the New Zealand Police Infringement Bureau, Nicole, decides to tell me, well, we just need to know what your plea is. And I said, well, surely the fact that I've requested a hearing should establish what my plea is going to be. It would be obvious. But she goes, no, we can't assume. We need your plea. And basically said, if you don't let us know what your plea is going to be, we're not going to give you a hearing. Well, there's an infringement right there. You don't get to fucking strong arm and hold out giving me a hearing, which I have every right to have, until I give you a plea. So in the end, I told her what my plea was going to be, because it's pretty fucking obvious. If I request a hearing, it's because I believe I'm not guilty. It's not because I want to plead guilty in court and waste the fucking resources. No, I wanted plead not guilty because I wasn't speeding. So we get through the coercion from the New Zealand Police Infringement Bureau demanding a plea from me, and then they send me, notice of hearing, initial disclosure, missing, I'd like to point out, under the Criminal Disclosure Act 2008, Section 12(1), a summary of facts. Summary of facts is just a caption summary telling you in brief what's alleged to have happened, what the alleged facts are. So they didn't supply that. So I got the disclosure in September, initial disclosure. I filed my notice of appearance for the first call hearing on the 25th of October. My dad had died on the 3rd of October, so it was a bit of a rough time at that time. I then went back and forth to Timaru a couple of times to try and help out the family, help out mum. And they first scheduled me a hearing early in January, and as I wasn't sure what was happening with Dad, I asked for that to be adjourned, and they gave me a new date of today, the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's. So, there's quite a few issues I've got. One, other than her saying I was doing 77, there's absolutely no evidence. She's not photographed the radar, she's just saying what my speed was or anything like that. Her camera was working because she managed to photograph the car and the reg plate, but for some reason she just didn't photograph the speed. I wonder why. She's claiming that she saw me approaching, didn't do her tracking history very well in accordance with the operator's manual of the radar, and she said that she's had her fast mode set on her stalker, and it detected me at doing 77, and that she can confirm it because she saw me closing distance in the car in front of me. Now that could have happened because I was speeding up to it, or it could have happened because of what actually did happen was the fact that he slowed down when he saw the cop, which made it look like I was speeding up to him. You know, I've got the photo showing the car in front of me was doing 76, not me. It shows I was doing 61. She's got nothing other than her testimony to say what it was. bear in mind that she lied to me on the side of the road saying I'd get her name on the infringement ticket, which was bullshit, because that never happened. And then she fills out this statement saying that she noticed on the dashboard my radar antenna. This radar antenna. She stated that she noticed an old, rusted radar antenna that appeared not to be in working order. I don't know about you, but there's no fucking lights or blips on the antenna that says it's working or not. There's no way to tell. And the kicker, it's made of aluminium. Aluminium doesn't fucking rust. So she's made a statement, a signed sworn statement on the 8th of October last year saying that she noticed my rusty antenna. So there's one fucking, well, that's two lies now. Then she stated that she can confirm that Mr. Keane is the defendant in court today. Don't know about you, but I wasn't in court on the 8th of October when she made that signed sworn statement, knowing that it is an offence to mislead and that it's going to be used for court proceedings. So she's lied on the statement, she's misled. She stated that I had a rusty antenna and didn't appear to be operational. You can't tell from looking at the antenna whether it's operational or not. She had no interest in looking at what my radar was saying to me, that I was only doing 61. So she's misleading the court in her statement. Now, the reason it says she can identify me as the defendant in court today, even though that was in October last year, what they do usually is they pre-write these statements on the hopes and dreams that the court will allow them to read directly from their statement, because in the statement it says I now refer to Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3. You can tell. Now this is handy in a way, because what they're actually doing is they're giving you a rundown of exactly what the cop's going to say when they're on the stand, because they're expecting to read directly from the statement. When in actual fact they're supposed to go from memory. They're not supposed to go from a written statement they've already got. So the kicker in this is, one, I've got a signed sworn statement with misleading lies on it from her. So whether she's allowed to read directly from the statement or she has to go from memory, the only thing she's allowed to use is what's called her notes made at the time, which clearly says that there were more than one vehicle in the radar scope, because she says she measured one car at 57 and the other one at 77. Okay, so how did the radar distinguish which car was which? How did she know which car was which? The only thing she's going by is the fact that she saw me closing in on the other car, so i.e. I must have been the one going faster, when in actual fact he was slowing down. So I've got all of that to do, so that I can either object when she goes to get up on the stand and say, I object from her reading from a statement, she should be doing it from memory or notes made at the time. The court will either allow her to read directly from the statement, which is fine, because I've written my own damn statement, exactly like theirs, except there's no lies in my one. So if the court's going to allow her to read directly from her statement, they're going to have to afford that same privilege to myself, and I'll be able to read directly from my statement, which they are not going to like. If they don't allow her directly from her statement, when I testify, and yes, I am getting on the stand this time, I will either read directly from my statement or my notes I made at the time, because anything they can do, I can do. Now, other than just her eyes and her testimony, she has no supporting evidence whatsoever to prove that I was doing any sort of speeding. She's got no photograph of the radar. She's got nothing to back it up. And testimony alone is not enough to convict. She must have supporting evidence, which she doesn't have. So it's going to be a fun day today. Court proceedings about 10:30. It's just coming up to 9 now, and I'm in typical fucking Auckland traffic heading in. So yeah, we're going to see how we get on today. I'm going to be taking the little radar antenna in just to point it out to the court to say, hey look, can you please point out the rust? Or could you show me where the indicators are on the antenna that says whether it's operating or not? She won't be able to, because there is none. Okay? she won't be able to point out the rust that she was misleading us in her statement. And even if she doesn't read directly from her statement when I'm testifying, because you see, what they like to do is they like to send you a shitload of disclosure, sometimes more. And a lot of the stuff they send you, they won't actually enter as exhibits and evidence when they're testifying on the stand. But it doesn't mean I can't. So I'm going to be submitting her 3-page misleading statement as evidence, as defence exhibits. I've got the car dash showing what happened, that I wasn't speeding. Okay, it's only a $120 ticket, but it's the whole moral and ethics behind it. She was out there solely gaining revenue. She wasn't there to keep people slowed down. And half an hour later, after I unloaded my frozen's and my groceries, me and my son went back to McDonald's. And on the way back, here she is, doing a fucking U-turn directly in front of me without indicating, speeding, doing well over the 60 temporary area, and I'd like to say she's doing more like 80 to 100 Ks, chasing a car in front of her along the temporary 60k area. So what a fucking hypocrite. She didn't, when I followed her chasing this next car on the way back to McDonald's, she pulled over the car in front. She didn't even want to get out of her fucking car because Muggins me pulled in directly behind her. So I decided to pull over and go around to the other side of the road, just in case. And I recorded her next traffic stop. So we're going to see how we get on. It should be interesting. I'll keep you informed as always, guys. Sorry about the wind noise. And I'll catch up with you. Just thought I'd let you know what I'm up to. Great day, have a look. Oh, beautiful weather. Bit foggy, but shit happens. Alright guys, catch you later. Bye now.